What is good, y'all? It's Anime K here. Now today we're going to be talking, if you see the title of the video, it says, are there really such things as heroes and villains? And I want to explain the title of this video. So in the Naruto verse, and the anime verse, or even just superheroes or whatnot, right? You have this term, heroes and villains. The heroes are the good guys, the villains are the bad guys. But as you grow up, you realize that really you can understand the villains a lot of the times, most of the times, and you can really understand where the villains are coming from. And really, most of the time, the ones that are considered and shown to us as the villains are not always the villains. And really, they just want the same goals as the heroes, but will go about it in different ways. But now that I've explained the title of the video, just in case anyone was confused, we're going to get straight into the video, and I'm going to make this a series if it does well. And the first two characters I want to talk about are Naruto and Sasuke, the two main characters of Naruto. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is their backstories. Just to have a little recap of their backstories.
And even if you succeed and you get your revenge, what will you have then? Nothing. Emptiness.
So obviously, you know, Naruto his parents died when he was just born. Minato, his father, put the nine tails into him and made him the nine tails Jinchuriki. Sealed the bad half of Kuruma inside of him, don't know why. And obviously Kushida, his mom, died as well, protecting him. Obviously, because Obito brought the nine tails to the Hidden Leaf and attacked the Hidden Leaf, and that's how Naruto's parents died. Obviously, he grew up alone, had no friends, so everyone was scared of him because Donzo leaked that Naruto was the nine tails Jinchuriki to everyone in the village, so they could all have something to hate, which in fact they did hate. The person they hated was Naruto, and he grew up alone in an apartment by himself. The third Hokage promised to protect him, didn't do no such thing. The only thing he kept his promise in doing is naming Naruto. Apart from that, didn't do anything really at all. But yeah, that's basically Naruto's background. He grew up alone, had no friends, got bullied, got hate, you know. And yeah, it was a really bad experience for him as a kid. And it's only when he really joined Team 7 and started gaining a bit of power that life started turning around for him. And life started also turning around for turning around anyway, for Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke, obviously, you know what happened to him. One night he was coming home, he saw all his family dead, and it was his big brother that murdered his family. So that's what was the traumatizing experience for Sasuke, having to see his mother and father die, and Itachi using a genjutsu on him to make him see his parents and all his family and clan dying around something like 100 or 200 to 1,000 times. It's not really a direct number for that, but just know he had to see his family die over and over again in a genjutsu, which obviously traumatized him and made him set on one goal, which was killing Itachi. And obviously Naruto's goal was being accepted by the village and becoming Hokage. So now that we've gone over both their backstories, we're going to get straight into the first point I want to make here about the hero and the villain thing. And firstly, I want to talk about Naruto living in denial about Sasuke and not really understanding Sasuke. Now, what I mean by that is, look, but the Valley of the End fight, the reason why Naruto lost that fight is basically his storyline to basically show that even though he thought he understood Sasuke, he didn't. And that is basically the main thing I want to touch about in this first part, is that for a lot of the show, he was in denial about how Sasuke was. Okay, when he left the village, he was in denial. When he saw Sasuke again, or other people were telling him about Sasuke, he was in denial. And when I mean he was in denial, he was in denial to what Sasuke had become, which was darker, more I not want to say evil, but you could use that word for it, because he kind of went from, you know, being in Team 7 to leaving the village to obviously willing to give himself up for Orochimaru and have the curse mark take over him, all for one goal of killing Itachi, and he would stop at nothing to do that. And I think Naruto didn't want to accept the fact that this is what Sasuke turned into. And for me, he never really tried to understand Sasuke. The only thing he tried doing is bringing him back to the village, but he never really tried to. Because if you try to understand Sasuke's feelings, instead of trying to, I never had this opinion at first, first. And don't get me wrong, I've listened to a lot of YouTube videos to kind of form my own opinion on this, but really, if you really cared about how Sasuke would felt, look, you acknowledge the fact that he ain't gonna change. Even though, look, you should still try to change him and still try to push him in the right direction. Look, he should have, and this is my opinion, maybe he should have helped Sasuke try kill Itachi. Because think about it, Sasuke at the start, their philosophies wouldn't have been that different, because Sasuke, he never killed anyone. He didn't kill anyone. The only person he wanted to kill was Itachi. If you remember, when Sasuke and Suigetsu first went back to the land, you know, where the Land of Waves mission first took place, right? When Suigetsu wanted to get back Zabuza's executioner blade, right? Sasuke said he'll help him get him back, but he can't kill anyone. He said something, he was basically along that lines of he couldn't kill anyone. That's exactly what they did now. Suigetsu called Sasuke soft, but one, I think it was a combination of two things. One, he didn't want to be like Itachi, and he thought being like Itachi would be just killing people left and right. And two, his main goal was to just kill Itachi, so anyone else was just, it wasn't worth him killing, because there's only one person he wanted to kill in the world, and that was Itachi. Getting back to the Naruto point, I feel like if Naruto would have gone to help Sasuke kill Itachi, or at least try to understand where Sasuke was coming from, which I feel like he failed to do, even from their last fight, I feel like he still failed to understand where Sasuke was coming from. And maybe that's because of the writing, I don't know, but to me, he just kind of failed to see where Sasuke was coming from. He just wanted to bring him back to the village and everything go back to the way it was. But really, but we're gonna get into it down the line of what I think. But for the main thing I want to talk about for this first part is he failed to understand Sasuke's feelings, true feelings, okay? So number three, the third thing I'm touching on in this video is, obviously I talked about Sasuke leaving the village, and he's seen throughout the Naruto community and everything, he's seen as a bad guy for doing this, right? And don't get me wrong, should he be seen as a bad guy for doing this? Yeah, because that's what we're taught to think. We're taught to think that obviously road ninjas and ninjas that leave the village are seen as bad people and are hunted down and killed. But when you look at it in terms of Sasuke's reasoning, he had good reason to leave the village. One, would he have got as strong as he did leaving the village? I don't think so, given the fact that when Naruto and Team 7 first saw Sasuke again, when they first came back, he was way stronger than them. He outclassed Yamato, Naruto. Sakura couldn't do anything anyway, and Sai just got outclassed by Sasuke, given the fact that he trained under Orochimaru. Now, so leaving the village definitely benefited him and got him stronger, which is what he thought would happen, because he basically said he can't stand here playing with the you Leaf village guys, and he basically meant by that, look, I've got one goal, and that's to kill Itachi, and I'm not going to be able to do it being stuck in this village, going on missions and stuff like that. And you know what? I completely agree with him in that sense. And another reason as well, going through such a traumatizing experience, look, you would want to get revenge as well. And I'm not saying revenge is the right thing to do, no, but I don't think he should be seen as the big villain, or seen as such a villain for leaving the village. And oh yeah, and another thing as well, people only really focused, and the show only really focuses on how Sakura and Naruto felt and how he was hurting them. Throughout the whole show, you see that's a common theme. Even Sai, when he goes to talk to Sakura about how Sasuke's hurting Naruto, right? But just like the show, did they really try to feel how Sasuke was feeling, how he felt? Maybe he took offense to how they were always trying to bring him back. But to stop him from, obviously, think how he felt, because they were trying to stop him from finishing his goals. He would have probably felt offended. He might have felt quite angry for the fact that they kept trying to get in his way constantly, where he probably thought in his mind, look, if I thought this anyway, if you was real friends, you would help him get revenge. You know? Is revenge the right thing to do? No, but really, the way in the ninja world, in the way I just feel like, look, if you really wanted to help him, I think you should have helped him get revenge. Personally, that's just my opinion. Now, if that's Naruto and Sakura leaving the village, then so be it. But would it have changed the whole story? Yes, of course. But I'm just talking in terms of just the characters themselves. I feel like, look, maybe Sakura and Naruto handled the situation. They didn't handle the situation the best. I didn't really truly try to understand where Sasuke was coming from. And another point I want to touch on as well is with Itachi, because Itachi is seen as such a good person. And yes, I love Itachi, don't get me wrong, I love him, but think about what he did. If you really give it some thought about what he did to Sasuke, killed the whole clan, right? Look, could he have made a better choice with that? Yes, definitely. I definitely he had. You always have another choice. You can't say he had no choice. He had another choice. Two, and this is my second point. I don't want to get too much into Itachi, but two, if you want to blame someone for the way Sasuke is, blame Itachi. Because Itachi is the one, yeah. I feel like he even handled Sasuke wrong, making him full of all this hate and rage. And this is what it came to. This is the Sasuke we got because of Itachi, showing him his parents dying, telling him that he only kept him alive just so he could fight him one day. All that, he was planting the seeds in Sasuke's head to then eventually leave the village. And unfortunately, the path that Sasuke walked on was the path that Itachi set for him. It wasn't his own path. Now, did he make it his own path? Yes. Was that his goals? But in a sense, he was being manipulated by Itachi to do them things. Not directly like Itachi manipulating him directly to leave the village, but by Itachi planting all them stuff in his head, led to Sasuke leaving the village. So, if we're going to look at Sasuke as a bad guy, I feel like out the two, Itachi is more the evil one, in my opinion. And that's the opinion I've got from really looking at the show. Now, do I love Itachi? He's my favorite character from the show. But I always have to be honest, because on this YouTube channel, we be honest. And that's just the honesty of it all, okay? But moving on to my next point. A lot of stuff that they like to throw at is the fact that, and I've seen a couple of times, is look, Naruto went through a lot of stuff, but he still stayed in the village, he still stayed positive, and obviously Kakashi being they call him the Sasuke that didn't go evil. Right, that's fine. You can praise them for that. But then again, at the same time, I don't think it was wrong, completely wrong for Sasuke to leave the village. You know what I mean? Like, look, was it the right thing for them to stay positive? Yes. But also, Sasuke leaving the village, I think, is also justified as well. So I think both of them, Naruto and Kakashi staying positive and staying, in a good mindset is also a good thing. But Sasuke leaving the village is also a good thing as well. You got to remember, this is the same village that caused all his pain in the first place. This is the same village where all the pain, all the suffering, all the stuff that happened with his brother. Now, did he know that? No, but the pain and suffering part, he knew it was a direct correlation to the Leaf Village. So really, Sasuke leaving, he just left anyway without actually knowing the full knowledge of why he left. Because really, look, the way the Leaf Village treated his clan, not just a broader spectrum of stuff, the way they treated his clan and the way they treated his people, look, the Uchihas should have left the Leaf Village a long time ago. So Sasuke leaving the village, I don't blame him, because the Uchihas were treated like nothing, even though they were one of the two clans that first started the whole village. So Sasuke leaving the village, look, is the show made us to see him as a bad guy because he left the village? Yes, and at the time when I first watched it, did I think that? Yes, because of the clever writing. But now that I'm a bit older, and I've listened to a lot of opinions, and I've formed my own opinion, I don't think it was all that evil for him to leave the village. I think it was justified, in my opinion. I really do. I really think it is justified. But a lot of people will disagree, because then again, Sasuke is this figure of hate that people really hate in the Naruto community. So now we're going to talk a bit about Sasuke's views on the world and people's problem with that as well. Everyone's got a problem with Sasuke, don't they? But so the first thing I want to touch on here is the fact that a lot of people disagree with Sasuke's views, mainly because, it was so extreme what he wanted to do, kill the 5 Kage, You know, he wanted to basically put all the villagers under his control. And don't get me wrong, he had the power to do that. You know, the only person that could have stopped him at the time was Naruto. Hence why he was trying to cut, as he put it, cut down Naruto first. The reason why, I mean, yeah, he did it. He wanted to do it because they were good friends, but also because he knew Naruto was the only one that could stop him at that time. But getting into my point, what I want to say, a lot of people have a problem with his views, like I said, because they think it's extreme or think killing all them people is just too extreme. And my point that I want to make here is there's been a lot of leaders that have had to kill people, not just in anime, but in history, to get stuff done. You know what I mean? We're not going to get into real life stuff like that, but in terms of anime, you know, let's talk about Hashirama, someone who's seen as a good guy, right? Even though he built a village to protect people and protect his clan, ended up having to send them same people, you know, kids, adults, all that, into war against other villagers, and they had to die. And the village was built on a foundation of no one would have to fight anymore. But that wasn't the case anymore. Now, also he had to kill his best friend Madara because he disagreed with Madara's views on the world as well. Pain, when he attacked the Leaf Village, right? Or Pain's whole philosophy of spreading pain across the world. He's another person who maybe he's not seen as a good guy, but he's not seen as bad as Sasuke. But really what he was doing was the same. It was kind of the same kind of basis of having to hurt people to then further achieve this goal of peace. You know, he killed, even not including the Leaf Village, he killed Jinchuriki, he was capturing Jinchuriki, you know, he attacked other villagers, he, you know, for money, to help the Akatsuki in the first place. You know, he did a lot of stuff. He caused a lot of pain, no pun intended. He created a lot of pain throughout the world, but his is still not, but people overlook that. So then when they come back to Sasuke's views of having to kill the 5 Kage, right? And look, I get why he thought like that, because basically what he was saying, which was the same with a lot of other people like Madara, Obito, Pain, was we need to get rid of the current regime and we need to change the world. Here's Sasuke's view on it was we need to get rid of the current 5 Kage. Sorry about that alarm in the background. We need to get rid of the current 5 Kage, get rid of everyone that is being procrastinating and being pushing this whole ninja system needs to be cut off and wiped off, and we need to create a new world where everyone thinks differently and everyone moves differently, and that's the only time where we can have true peace. And he doesn't mind taking on all the hate, all the people hating him for what he's done, if he can create a peace. Now, is it an extreme view? Yes, but at least he had a view, unlike his counterpart Naruto. At least he had a view of what he wanted to do with the world. And, you know, I always disagree of how they make him change at the end, because it's like he has such a big view of what he wanted to do, then just to make him follow. He wanted to change the whole regime of the ninja system. So to then make him follow that same regime after, it's, you know, no one can really change their mind. That's like a really 360 on how Sasuke was thinking altogether. You know, he only had one kid as well, didn't revive his clan, none of that. So I always thought that was a big 360 on how Sasuke thought at the end, from near the end of Shippuden to obviously Boruto, when he's protecting the Leaf Village. But that's my main point for this. That's my main point for this point is, look, there's a lot of other people, even there's a lot of good people, you know, quote unquote good people, quote unquote bad people that have had to hurt to achieve their goals. And some people have even done it to a similar level of Sasuke, being Madara, Pain, Obito, you know. So Sasuke really the worst one out of everyone? That's up for your opinion. But moving on to our next point. Now, like I was saying before, at least Sasuke had a view on the world, right? Now, what I mean by that is, right, when Pain attacks the Leaf Village and he gives that speech to Naruto about, you know, what about my village? You guys attacked my village, all that. You remember that when he's got the rods stuck into him, you know, before Hinata comes and tries to save him. He tells Naruto his views on the world, and then he asks Naruto, and Naruto simply replies, and I'm quoting Naruto here, "I don't know." So what this implies to me about Naruto is he's spouting all this stuff about changing the world, but he doesn't have his own, he doesn't have his own views on how to do it, or two, he's just not took the time to think about it. And both both answers would be really, really bad, because one, him not taking the time to think about it but then spouting all this stuff about peace, it's like, if you've not thought about yourself, or you've not really had a really good think or how you're going to do it yourself, how do you think other people will follow you, or other people, or how do you think you can actually make a real change to the ninja world? And two, him not even bothering to take the time to think about, maybe him not knowing what to do is really bad as well, because like I've said before, if you're spouting about peace and stuff like that, then you can't go around, then you can't not at least have your own ideologies. Sorry, I'm pronouncing that wrong. Or you can't have your own beliefs and not be able to articulate to someone what you believe. You know, I was expecting Naruto maybe to have at least, maybe even quote something Jiraiya said to him, but he just didn't know. And that's bad to me, because look, on the other hand, let's look at Sasuke's views. Like I just pointed it out, right? Sasuke's views was he wanted to kill the 5 Kage, change the whole ninja regime, and take on all the hate in the world, right? Now, why, like I said before, like I've been repeating all this time, right? And for my last point, even though it's extreme, at least he had a view on how he wanted to change the world. You know, Sasuke would have made more impact to the ninja world than Naruto would have. Now, with Naruto, the only sort of thing he had to change people was to talk no jutsu them, or you just have to kill them and hope no hate comes back. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about with Nagato, right? Nagato decided to believe in Naruto. You know, we talk about Sasuke having plot armor. You know, hey, maybe it's because they were both Jiraiya students, but for him to then change his views so quickly, then revive the whole Leaf Village, you know, that's by coincidence. That wasn't because Naruto had a view on what to do, right? Don't get me wrong, did he quote Jiraiya's book and say, you know, talk about how, maybe remind Nagato about how he used to be in Jiraiya's teachings? Yes, you can say that as well. And, you know, that's a great point to make, because he did quote what Jiraiya said to him, and it can resonate with him being one of Jiraiya's old students. I guess you can say that too. So fine, I'll let you off with that. But then, in the war, being able to talk no jutsu Obito and remembering how it was before to him, like, that was, you can't tell me that was not a sheer stroke of luck. Obito, from before Naruto taught him, was dead set on killing everyone there, to then remembered how life used to be, and then suddenly had a character switch, went from wanting to kill them to then giving his life up to save Sasuke. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's like, it's just crazy to me. Like, at least with Sasuke had a view on what he could do, and once he had the view of what he wanted to do, he was going for it. Now look, the crazy thing is Sasuke had more views on what he wanted to do, more than Naruto. Now, did Sasuke's views change a lot? Yes, but that's what's called character development, because Sasuke had a lot of character development. So obviously his first thing he wanted to do was kill Itachi. Then it was, when he found the truth out about Itachi, he wanted to destroy the Leaf Village for what they did to Itachi. Specifically, he wanted to kill Danzo and the elders, and probably the 3rd Hokage if he was alive at that time as well. And then obviously he went from, after speaking to the Kage, instead of speaking to the Kage, he decided, instead of destroying the Leaf Village, because that won't help at all, he wanted to change the 5 great nations and the whole ninja system. Now that's what he concluded. That's the final kind of view he had on the world, you know, by the time Naruto and Sasuke had the final battle. But at least, like I was saying, at least he had a view on what he wanted to do, and he was gonna stop at nothing to achieve that goal. That's just my main problem with Naruto. He never really had a view on how to change the world. He just had hope, and if I get everyone to acknowledge me and if I become stronger, that's how I'll change the world. And it kind of reminds me of how Itachi used to be, where when Itachi's talking to Sasuke, he kind of says if he just relied on others and maybe gone to speak to people about it, maybe things could have been different. And Naruto, a lot of the time, kind of reminded me of the old Itachi, where they just thought power would change everything. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's a really good comparison, but that's kind of my first thoughts that I got about it anyway. Oh yeah, sorry, reading my notes. And the last point I want to make with Naruto's views, right? We're seeing on full display. We're seeing on full display how Sasuke, for me anyway, you see in Boruto, Sasuke's kind of views kind of may benefit more because, right, hear me out. The Ototsukis, right? You cannot talk no jutsu them. All they care about is power. They're literally like. That's why they're considered gods. All they care about is power. You cannot talk them out of doing anything. You can't talk about their backstories because their backstories from growing up to now, growing up in the Otsutsuki clan, it's always been about power and one-upping each other. That's been ingrained into their brain. You can't change that. It's not like Obito where he had a different past but turned into what he turned into. No, they're just like that all the time. So Naruto is being forced to fight. You can't talk no jutsu them. They're just being forced to fight. Now, with Sasuke's view, right? Sasuke just wants to kill them all, even willing to kill Boruto if it meant protecting Leaf Village, right? Now, hear me out on this. Judging by the first thing we see in Naruto, see in Boruto, where it's Kawaki and Boruto fighting, and Kawaki goes, "I'll send you where I sent Lord Seventh," right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm just gonna predict this, right? I guarantee you, right? Just by them not wanting to kill, just by Naruto not wanting to kill Kawaki or Boruto, it led to the Leaf Village being destroyed. I'm telling you that because he found one clan and he found one set of people that you just can't talk no jutsu. All they care about is power. In Sasuke's view, I know Sasuke, he would have just killed them. And now would it have been tough? Yes, but that's why I always admired more about Sasuke and Naruto, is he was able to make the tough decisions and he was able to make the decisions that no one else would want to make. And that's one quality of Sasuke's that Naruto doesn't have, is Sasuke is able to make the tough decisions. And even though, look, I even believe Sasuke, even though it'd hurt him, he would kill his own daughter, Sarada, if it meant protecting Leaf Village, because he's able to make them tough decisions. Would Sakura probably hate him? Yes. Would Boruto probably hate him? Yes. But Sasuke is able to make them decisions where only a few people just in life can make those decisions. Look, we have to do this. Even though I don't want to, we've got to survive. Survival instincts. And that's what Sasuke has for me. But, moving on. The Sasuke's journey of atonement, right? I've always had a big problem with this. And maybe I'll make a proper video on this. But I never realized, right, what does Sasuke really have to atone for? Right? Hear me out. Yes. I know what he did. There's a list of bad stuff Sasuke has done, right? But what does Sasuke really have to atone for? Everything he did, everything he went through was because of the Leaf Village. If you ask me, maybe the Leaf Village higher ups should have gone on a journey of atonement, or I don't know. They make it seem like, for me anyway, they make it seem like he was, Sasuke, you was just wrong, but thank God you're trying to fix yourself now, or stuff like that, or thank God you're a good person now. I don't know, like this whole journey of atonement thing, I just never really agreed with it. It's hard for me to really put into words, but it's like everything he went through and everything he did, it just further kind of pushes this kind of villain, he was wrong quite act, you know what I mean? Even him telling Sarada, be like Naruto. Now, obviously, would it be good for Sarada to completely follow Sasuke's footsteps? No, but the true embodiment of Sasuke as a ninja, I don't think he's too bad. Stops at nothing to achieve his goals, doesn't let anyone get in the way, will stop, is able to make them hard decisions, all that. And plus, he was always determined. He always had that tunnel vision where nothing was going to get in his way. And look, the journey of atonement was obviously for all the crimes he did, leaving the village, all that. But I've already touched on that, why I don't think that was bad, really, in general anyway. Look, does Sasuke deserve a punishment? I guess you can say so. But then you got to punish everything that led up to that. You got to punish the shinobi system. So maybe Kakashi should have been put in prison as, the Hokage. Maybe the two elders, maybe they should have probably been put in prison as well, I think they should be put in prison. Maybe you look at some other villages as well. Maybe their Kages get put in prison as well. Because I'll tell you right now, everything that Sasuke did, it all started from this shinobi system. The same system that Naruto right now is pushing, Naruto has not made, is Naruto the most powerful Hokage? Yes, but he's not made no changes to the village at all. There's been no changes. He's just following in the footsteps of Hashirama, the same Hashirama who made the villagers to have peace, but then there was problems. For me anyway, I just don't think Sasuke really needs to go on this whole journey of atonement thing, or not for as long as he's been on for it now. I don't think he needs to do it. You know, you've been on it for how many plus episodes? You know, come on, like, you started the journey when you was 19, and he's like nearly 30 something now, isn't he? So I don't think you need to atone for anything anymore. You know, I think Sasuke's feelings were justified, and people, by him going on this journey of atonement and everyone letting him go on there, I feel like they're completely disregarding Sasuke's feelings and what he really had to go through, and just passing it off as he was just a stupid young teenager who oh yeah, and because he's a Uchiha, he's just evil and whatnot. But I don't completely agree with that at all, you know. But look, to end the video here, I want to say this is not a video to call Naruto evil, and this is not a video to call Sasuke good. I just think we should look at both of them too. We'll look at both the characters, and maybe hopefully I've been able to change your views and change your perspective and change how you look at both these characters. You know, maybe look at Sasuke in a more of a lighter note, and maybe look at Naruto and maybe judge some of the stuff that he could have done better as well. But overall, they're both amazing characters. We both love Naruto and Sasuke's friendship, and yeah, well, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you enjoyed the series. You know, put a lot of work into this, it's a long video, you know, so I'd appreciate if you guys could at least like the video. You know, sharing it helps as well. And if you guys do enjoy this series, let me know. So, because I've got another kind of video planned, and the person I'll be talking about is you could say he's even more of a controversial person than Naruto and Sasuke, Eren. But look, I talked enough now. You guys have heard me talk enough. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you. You know, I appreciate it. This has been Anime K, and peace. I'm out.